Welcome to the Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Pastor Kendra Grams, pastor at First Presbyterian Church in Hudson, and honored as ever to convene again for a clergy conversation for the Western Wisconsin Journal. Today, it's my privilege and my honor to do so with Pastor Heather Hill, the rector at St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Hudson, new to our community. So it's just a blessing to gather with her today and help introduce her to the community. So welcome, Heather.
Thank you.
I wonder if we could start by just having you tell us a little bit about yourself. We know pastors are also people, so who is Heather, the person?
Heather, the person, is a mom to twins who will be starting 5th grade in just a short while, and a wife to a priest who is going to become bivocational and starts at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities in a short while as well.
And what's the bivocational hope?
To be both a priest and a pharmacist.
That's quite the bivocational
It
calling.
is. It's a big change after 15 years in parish ministry only.
Fun. And any hobbies, things you like to do other than
my kids and I really got into Pokemon Go during the pandemic as a way to walk around neighborhoods and explore. I love to knit when the kids give me a chance. And my cat is always by my side if I'm sitting somewhere where I can be petted. He can be petted.
So lots of diverse interests. So then as we think about your life in the church, you're obviously from the Episcopal tradition, and we know that the Christian family tree is very big. So can you tell us a little bit about what is meaningful to you about the Episcopal tradition and how it is that you found your home or realized that was home for you within the big Christian family tree?
Yes, the Episcopal tradition for me, one of the most important things was our service and our liturgy and our prayers. We pray in sometimes ancient words translated into modern language, and we pray together. So when we are able to, we pray with great faith, and when we feel like we need help, our neighbors around us and our community praise us into God's presence, and I love that aspect of it. I also love being part of a wider church. It's anywhere the English commentary went, or anywhere England went, they took their church, and so the Anglican communion is everywhere, and we all pray the same words. And I'm preparing for another funeral, and we pray the same words over presidents as people who live on the streets and everywhere in between.
A beautiful way to affirm that connection. So did you grow up in the tradition or find your way to the Episcopal tradition another way?
I was actually baptized in the Anglican church in Hong Kong when my family was over there, and then we moved back to the U.S. and have been attending Episcopal churches. Ran away for a little time in college, as most do, and knew that when it came time for ordination, this was the tradition I wanted to come back to.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about what brought you to Hudson, to St. Paul's. It sounds like bivocational might have been part of it, but what excites you about being at St. Paul's and what brought you there?
Well, Hudson has always been a part of our lives for about 15 years now. With family and friends throughout the Midwest, we drive through Hudson every summer. So we know the territory well, visiting family in Wisconsin and friends in Minnesota. It was always on the route. So it's a part of who we are. And after the pandemic, we wanted to be closer to family. And my mother-in-law lives in Bemidji, which seems far, but is within her driving range. So that was important to us when we were looking. And St. Paul's really came, when I talked to them, out as people with great faith. They prayed about things, they wanted to see God, and they wanted to work for God's kingdom. And that was so exciting to see that great faith that they have. Stepping out and all coming together as a community to seek God and to try to love all the people who live in this area.
Very good. So you're, I think, about 6 weeks in here in mid-August as we record. What has been the most fun things to learn about the church or about Hudson thus far?
Well, Hudson, we came just in time for Booster Days, and my kids rode the rides and played the games and bought all the carnival food immediately. I have loved exploring the downtown and walking along the water and just really finding the community that is here. It's quite a welcoming community. St. Paul's has been great to get to know all the people who've made this their home, who live throughout this part of Wisconsin and a little into Minnesota, and meet the wonderful people who call St. Paul's home.
And what is the character of St. Paul's as you would describe it then? What's drawing all these people from across the river, around the region? What is your sense as their new pastor of why they call St. Paul's home?
There's a warmth in a community and a faith. We can worship across differences. Politically, we are very purple. There's people with all different viewpoints, but we come together to worship God and to serve God's people. And the way they take care of each other and care for the community that is St. Paul's is pretty remarkable, considering all the differences they have in the world.
Very good. Well, and I know during the pandemic, really, they took on a big new project, collaboration in the community with the Senior Center. Can you tell us a little bit about that collaboration, how it's going?
Oh, I love having the Senior Center there. They've been there. They're there Monday through Thursday, and people can get a shuttle ride in to join us for lunch, and lots of different card groups. Lots of groups having a fun time together, and the bingo is always an exciting time. But no, it's been great to have them there and to really get to know broader community and to work together to help our seniors, because there's so many people who were so isolated during the pandemic. And we provide a way to, they can come in a good facility, and we're handicap accessible, so however they come, the shuttle will pick them up and bring them on over and get that community and that warmth. And for those who can't come physically, Meals on Wheels is taken out by a great group of volunteers who stop by every morning to pick up meals and come back later with the dishes, and the faithful volunteers who do the dishes every day. So it's a great outreach to the community, and we're glad that they are part of the St. Paul's wider family.
Yes, so also 6 weeks in, hard to say, but what do you think is the next great challenge or opportunity for St. Paul's at this stage in their life as a family of faith?
Well, I think we are coming out of the pandemic like everybody else, learning who we are afterwards. One of the things the pandemic did was to ensure that the service can be broadcasted. So we YouTube and FaceTime, Facebook, all of our services, and we have a lot of growing people who begin their journey with St. Paul's there. And they watch us and they learn about who we are. And then when they are able or when they feel safe with COVID numbers, they can come out and join us for actual things. So I'm really excited about where we're headed, just really bringing people back together and doing the work of the church here in Hudson.
So on a Sunday morning, can you describe, if people walked into St. Paul's or tuned in via Facebook or YouTube, what would they experience? What would they see?
Well, they'd be welcomed at the door. We have some faithful greeters who've been longtime members who are so excited to see somebody new. They will meet people of all ages who love kids and kids' noises, as they continue to tell me that my kid noises are wonderful and welcome. And starting in the fall, we're starting back our Bible study before service at 8:30 each morning, and any adults are welcome. That is not broadcast, but that's in person. And we're going to start having our youth Sunday school after church, so that the kids don't have to wake up extra early on Sunday mornings. They can come at 9:45 with the whole rest of their family, and then after service they can gather for some learning and some education. But you'd find a welcome group of all ages and music that ranges from contemporary to traditional hymns, the faithful words of the Episcopal liturgy that have been said for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and a warm welcome and some great coffee afterwards.
Great coffee, that's always a good thing to have on hand. Well, so as you think about getting more involved in the Hudson community, what are you eager to learn more about as well?
I'm excited to get involved in my kids' school. They're going to be at Hudson Prairie in just a few weeks here, and getting to know that. They've already gotten to know the neighborhood kids who've told them what a fabulous bus route we're on. And really getting to know the community. My son wants to get involved in scouts, and my daughter in gymnastics, and really just getting to know Hudson and know the people and really become invested. It's a great town, and we want to make it home for us.
Well, good. And if to build off that theme of home, if somebody is looking for a church home and they check out St. Paul's, what would you as a pastor want them to know about how they could make a home there?
The easiest way is just to tune into a service on Sunday morning from the comfort of your own home on YouTube or the Facebook page. And then just try us out. See if it's a right community for you and see if it's a place where you'd like to be. We welcome, all ages, all thoughts of life, all political parties. We don't discriminate, and we are a mix of all different people, and we come together to worship God and to be God's people in the world. And if they have any questions, they're welcome to contact me, either by phone, by email, however you prefer. And I'd be happy to talk with them about the wonderful things of St. Paul and get them connected with other people in our community from similar backgrounds or from similar places in life.
Wonderful. Well, we certainly wish you all the best at St. Paul's. It's wonderful to welcome you to the community, and we look forward to growing together, I'm sure.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to be here in Hudson.
Wonderful. And thank you, everyone, for being with us for another installment of Clergy Conversations on the Western Wisconsin Journal. We hope you'll tune back in for our next installment, and we wish you all peace and wellness in your journey as well.